Let's take a look at how Oda went about developing the core cast of One Piece, the East Blue Straw Hats. Now, of course, the crew is always growing, but what was the key group of characters that Oda chose to begin with, and why? Well, to start with, One Piece revolves around Luffy. Ultimately, this is the story about Luffy's path to becoming Pirate King, and the rest of the main characters of the series have made it their goal to help him achieve this dream. So if the story is going to flow through this one protagonist, how do you create a supporting cast around him? This is important to think about for anyone interested in writing their own stories. Let's try to imagine Oda's thought process. First, who is Luffy? There are a lot of different sides to Luffy, so it's important to make sure that he is quickly surrounded with crew members that each match one dimension of Luffy's character. So really, the first side of Luffy's character is Luffy, the man who will be Pirate King. He's a captain, he's a leader, he's a fighter, he's a man with a stronger will than anyone else, and he's eventually going to be the king of the seas. So if Luffy is going to be the Pirate King, if he's going on this life or death adventure where he challenges the world, he needs to have a partner in crime. Just as every leader needs a right-hand man, a number 2 guy, Luffy needs a crewmate like Zoro. So the first companion to join Luffy the Pirate King is Zoro the Great Swordsman. Someone who has a similarly grand ambition, who parallels Luffy's drive and determination, who matches his willpower and tenacity, who can stand shoulder to shoulder with him in battle. Basically a character who is on the same wavelength as Luffy when it comes to the serious side of the story. Next we have Luffy the Idiot. This main character is a dumbass through and through, and left to his own devices he won't get far. And so this idiot needs a brain. There needs to be a foil for Luffy's stupid, reckless side, someone who can rein him in and respond to his antics, maybe make this his primary female companion. Luffy needs a crewmate like Nami, a hand that guides him. She's the navigator both literally and thematically, as she also personally guides Luffy through his impulsiveness and decision making throughout the series, trying to keep him on a straight course as much as she can. She scolds him, she mothers him, she keeps him in check, she plays the straight man to his idiocy, and sometimes she is the only one who can get through to Luffy. Beyond this, we have Luffy the Kid. Luffy's not just dumb, he's free-spirited, he's fun-loving, he wants to have a good time and goof around, but his first 2 companions are a little too mature for him. 90% of the time, Luffy's not going to be in this mode, he's going to be in this mode. How do you fulfill this childlike side of Luffy? Luffy needs a friend. He needs Ussop. Of course Zoro and Nami are his friends, but this is different. Luffy should have a buddy, a real pal, a guy that will goof off with him all the time, someone to joke around with, to play games with, who will share in his childlike excitement. Luffy cares for all of the Straw Hats equally, they are all his family, but if he's a little kid at heart, then you need to give that little kid a best friend. But really, what's the number one thing that's always on Luffy's mind? What's his addiction? What's his real passion in life? Food. And so lastly, we have Luffy the Glutton. And to feed a glutton, you need to give him a cook. And so Sanji is an essential part of the main cast. Now this might sound like a minor role to fill in relation to the main character, but in Luffy's case, food is genuinely his top priority most of the time. It's the first thing he's thinking about in most situations, and so to fit this aspect of the hero, he needs a chef by his side. On top of this, Sanji also fills a dual role of being a second guy who can really step up and fight alongside Luffy when things get serious, and basically serves as another lieutenant that Luffy the Pirate King can rely on. So, when looking at the beginnings of One Piece, we have our protagonist Luffy, the gluttonous, stupid, childlike Pirate King. And we can see how the 4 crewmates from East Blue all round out Luffy's character. That's not to say that later crew members are somehow inferior. My point is more so that if you look at things from a writer's perspective, we can see why Oda introduced Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji first, to make sure that Luffy is surrounded right away with all the characters he needs to bounce off of. By understanding exactly who his protagonist is and developing a supporting cast to fit each side of him, Oda made sure to create a solid starting foundation of core characters before diving into the main story. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe.